Hello and welcome to another episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club. If this is your first video in this series, hello, welcome. I'm Pat Bear, and I like to talk about anime, the world of anime and manga, and we get into some Korean comic stuff too, some manhwa as well. Today we are focusing on the summer season, the best of summer 2022. These are my recommendations at during the season because we're at about the midway point. What I'm really liking, and normally I talk about like 4 or 5 shows. I'm going to talk about three, and then I'll give some information that is kind of cheating, but that's okay. Because the summer 2022 season, there's definitely some stuff out there for some people, just not for me. And I had a tough time coming up with some must recommendations. Like Call of the Night is good, but it's visually stunning. I don't really love the plot, and I don't think it's that great. But again, visually really arresting. We're taking a look at some clips of Call of the Night. Overlord fans are happy because Overlord seems to be doing pretty good, season 4. But I kind of got sick of Overlord during season 3. You would think that I would be talking about the reverse slash not reverse isekai of Devil's a Part-Timer. But the animation is balls in that one, and so it's very hard to recommend because it's content. So people who love the manga, who love the first season of the anime, get to see more of it, but it looks real bad, and I don't want to look at it. So this is a little bit of a tough season for me to make some recommendations, but I do have a few things for you to check out, and we'll talk about the first one here. Is it an isekai? Yes, it's an isekai. And I'm going to read the full title, which is My Isekai Life. I gained a second character class and became the strongest sage in the world. It's a mouthful. There's a lot going on with My Isekai Life, which I'll call just from there. What's important about this one is that it is a fun exploration of the whole wake up in another world with vague memories of your past and an abundance of power. And instead of just like immediately knowing what to do, just kind of going with the flow, like there's a point where Yuji should be asking questions about like, hey, there's this whole destiny thing happening, and like there's like a lot going on out there that maybe is related to you, Yuji, and your summon, and the fact that all this stuff that was supposed to happen is happening the week that you got summoned to this world. But okay, just kind of go with it. The slimes are great. They have a lot of personality. You don't see it in this one, but they have lots of cool, fun costumes. One of them has an eye patch for some reason. There's a big mustache one. Very silly, very fun. Proud Wolf is a good character. His support. He's a sage, but he's a monster tamer, which is considered like kind of a crappy job. But he's secretly a sage, and he has cool magic that he channels through the monsters, which allows him to use cool shit and be awesome. And he's fighting a cult and having a pretty good time doing it. And he's very overpowered, and it kicks ass. Also, no CGI monsters so far. Please note that I said so far. So far, it has been all digital. It all looks good. The monster designs are cool. I'm really interested in this show, and I want to keep watching it, and I will. And I recommend it. If you're looking for something that's on High Dive, if you're looking for an excuse to get High Dive, I would say go for it. And then another recommendation, which is also on High Dive, not sponsored. I want to make that clear. Not sponsored by Crunchyroll, not sponsored by High Dive, not sponsored by anybody. I got to talk to you about Doomsday with my dog. You got a Shiba Inu there. Named Haru, who is the dog of grew up as the pet of what is now they think the last human on Earth. It is a post-apocalyptic world, and it's a comedy. Despite that, for whatever reason, the human can talk to Haru, and Haru can talk to the human. And this is not like due to the apocalypse. This happened before the apocalypse. And it's shorts. It's a motion comic kind of style thing. It's on, it was uploaded to YouTube for Japanese audiences, but region locked, and then released internationally via High Dive. And so you end up with these kind of like pages of a manga, and then the text appearing in word bubbles, but they're appearing in English. So it's not subtitled on the bottom, it's subtitled on the page, which is a very smart decision. Short episodes, like 2 minutes. There's a song at the end, it's very short. And it's just weird conversations between this dog, like trying to support its master, who is trying to be okay. Like I've only watched 5 episodes so far. I'm gonna get caught up. I believe it's gonna be 10. But it's cute and fun and weird. And if you're looking for something odd and short, there aren't a lot of shorts out this season that are available internationally. So maybe that's something you want to check out. Now, if you're like Pat, I have Crunchyroll. I don't have High Dive. I don't pay for High Dive. I pay for Crunchyroll. What do I get on Crunchyroll? Well, you get The Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. The first couple episodes of this show is odd. Its premise, I don't think, is that odd. The idea that you have a lieutenant in the Yakuza who is known mostly for fighting ends up becoming the ward of a young child who is the daughter of the Yakuza boss. And it's her kind of like starting to trust more people and more adults, and him kind to be a little bit of a soft boy, a guy who's kind of only known violence, taking care of this young girl and starting to appreciate the idea of someone waiting up for him and someone who's excited to talk to him and kind of helping this girl deal with stuff that she's going through. And then there are episodes that really focus on him and aren't much about her, and it's a thing where I'm like, oh, is this show actually about this dude growing and becoming a better person and not about both of them? And that's weird. There's there's like going viral on the internet / becoming an idol episode that's very strange and has very little to do with her. And I'm hoping that towards the tail end of this series, we get more about these two characters interacting and less about like the other Yakuza people that out there and other families. I don't care about them. I care about these two characters. So I hope we get to see them more. So I wouldn't call this a qualified recommendation, but I would say just go in with knowing that. But it's super cute. There's a kitten. Yaika, the young girl there, is adorable and great, and she's got a lot going on. She's trying her best, and everyone's trying their best, and I like that. It's sweet. Now, I said I would have 3 recommendations, and then I would throw a curveball, and that curveball is my 4th recommendation is several series from the spring season of 2020. Hey, get caught up on what was one of the best seasons of anime that I can remember in the last 10 years. This is just 5 series. Did I include an isekai? You bet your ass I included an isekai. Did I include a bunch of romantic comedies? Yes, because romantic comedies were great. Is this kind of retread of my romantic comedies to watch from the spring 2022 season? Sort of, yes, but also watch all of these. I'm going to read their names out. You've got Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic, which was the 3rd season of Kaguya-sama Love is War. Watch the other 2 seasons too. You've got Shikimori's Not a Cutie in the top corner there. In the bottom other side, you've got Aharon-san no Wahakaranai, which is a slow build high school romance where both characters are weird, which is just real fun. In the middle, you've got Trapped in a Dating Sim. The world of Otome games is tough for mobs, which is your isekai. It is your video game themed isekai. That also has some romance in it. And then Spy Family. And look, you're going to want to watch the second core of Spy Family next season. So you might as well get caught up on it now. Because the summer 2022 season isn't that good. For me, anyway. And in the comments below, I would love to hear from you. What's your favorite show this season? Is it something I mentioned? Is it something I kind of mentioned at the top? Is something that I was like, I'm not really into it? Is it something that I haven't seen yet? And, I should be checking out, but I just haven't. I know that some people are really liking Licorice Recoil. And I haven't gotten around to checking that out yet, but I've heard very good things. Maybe that's something I should check out. I don't know. You'll have to tell me in the comments. And also, what should I talk about next? Should I go back to some manga stuff? Should I do some stuff about some Korean comics? Some Chinese comics? I don't really read a lot of that, but I could do some research on some things. I might be doing a kind of like think piece, kind of like talking head thing about why... especially gay, homosexual comics and anime are really very similar and kind of the same vein, and that it's not reflective of the larger community. and why that might be. I've been thinking about doing that. That's maybe more of an essay than it is a video essay. I don't know, but that's something I can do in the future. If you heard a like heavy noise that I could not control, that I tried to make it so that that wasn't going to get picked up on the microphone, but I can't really help with that, so I apologize if you did hear something like that. And thank you so much for watching this video. Again, leave a comment of what you really like this season, what you'd like to see me cover in the future, and what have you gotten around to? Was there something I mentioned in this video that you were like, oh, I should check that out? Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.